Hey fantastic people, welcome back to F1ntastic Gaming. You can say we're back here with the last of first challenge series, and this time we're gonna get some Midnight Monaco mayhem. I am so pumped, so excited for this last of first challenge. I really can't wait to see how this plays out, and you can see as ever Monaco's looking so beautiful. Even in the game it looks so good, and especially at midnight it just looks amazing. I mean, this looks so great, and I've never raced at Monaco in the midnight. I've never seen what it looks like, so I'm really excited for this video to see what it's like to experience Monaco at midnight. And as usual, this is going to be a huge challenge to get from last to first, even more so because it's at the Monaco Grand Prix. Monaco, the Circuit de Monaco, is a circuit where it's almost impossible to overtake. I mean, there's barely one or two overtaking spots on the entire circuit, and it is so difficult for the gamer playing the Monaco Grand Prix, driving around the Circuit de Monaco on the F1 game, and in real life for the drivers it is so physically demanding because the drivers, they don't get to rest. They're always managing the steering wheel, they're always driving the car because there are no real straights at Monaco. Even the main straight, it is curved, so you know the driver is still having to hold the steering wheel and turn the steering wheel a little bit, so that's why. And then of course there's the narrowness of the circuit. The circuit is so narrow because it is a street circuit and the barriers are so close. There's no margin for error. It's very difficult to push to the limit without making any mistakes, and that's why these drivers, these F1 drivers, they're the best drivers in the world. So now we're gonna be trying a last of first challenge, starting on last on the grid. We're gonna be racing as Max Verstappen because I did record this before qualifying. I mean, if I would have recorded this after qualifying, then I would have raced with Charles Leclerc, although I might not have because I raced in a Ferrari at the last of first challenge at the Spanish Grand Prix. But yeah, I think Max Verstappen has a huge chance to win this Monaco Grand Prix and make some serious gains on Lewis Hamilton in the Drivers' Championship. So you can see, looking at the setup, lowest brake pressure, 7.7 wings, really high downforce, lowest tire pressure, sorry, but yeah, 7.7 wings, really high downforce, because this is Monaco. We need as much grip as we can get, but I don't want to compromise the straight line speed too much either, as we are going now to 5 red lights for the 2021 Monaco Grand Prix last of first challenge. And we're at 5 red lights. They're not even going out yet. They're still not out. And finally it's lights out, and away we go. Great getaway off the start. You can see we have so much overspeed on these slower cars, and we have to be careful not to get damaged. Down into turn 1, up into P12 now. We're in an AlphaTauri sandwich now, but look at that. That was a huge dive bomb. Best start I've ever got at Monaco. As we go around the outside of Casino Square, around the outside of Gasly, we have to be careful not to make contact with the wall. But yeah, that was a great overtake on Gasly. Really happy with that, as we make a double dive bomb down into Mirabeau. What a start we're having right now. This is absolutely incredible. And now look at this huge dive bomb into the Grand Hotel hairpin. We're just so fast and feeling so great with this car right now. I'm really glad I chose the Red Bull because it is so fast around Monaco, but I think we did make a bit of a mistake at the Grand Hotel hairpin. I think we made our dive bomb was way too big, because if you look at the replay you can see it was a pretty good dive bomb down the inside. We were side by side with Stroll, and I think he didn't pull out, so he actually got damage. So we're just gonna check. You can see he's side by side with Vettel, and yes, he does have damage. So we didn't get penalized for that. I'm not exactly proud of that move. I'm proud of getting past a Ferrari, but the racing point, I feel like could have been better racing, could have been a little bit more fair. And to be fair to myself, I think Stroll, the AI Stroll, could have pulled out of that. He could have, you know, braked a little bit to make sure that he didn't collide with the wall, but in the end he did. But you can see we're just moving on from that because we're chasing down the home hero Charles Leclerc. You can see he's in P6 because this is the 2020 game, and in 2020 Ferrari were a P6 kind of car. Actually they were a P13 kind of car, but yeah, they were not capable of winning races, not capable of pole position, but in 2021 they are. But you can see this is the game, and this is us trying to chase down this Ferrari. You can see how much we close up in the braking zone through Casino Square. I think that was Massenet, this is Casino Square. But yeah, you can see down into Mirabeau we make a huge dive bomb. Purple first sector. That was a huge dive bomb, so risky. We could have been switched back there by Charles Leclerc, but we still made that dive bomb work. I want to look at a replay of that because I like these replays because you can see that was such a huge dive bomb. We ran wide a little bit, but yeah, Mirabeau is not the biggest overtaking corner. I mean, it's good for overtaking, but you don't see overtakes there all the time. Larascas, now this is where you see overtakes more often, but yeah, you can see we're right at the rear end. Daniel Ricciardo pushing him through the final corner, quite literally. We gave him a bit of a tap on the rear end, but yeah, we're going really fast now. On to lap number 3. I think DRS is enabled now. You can see we might not need DRS to overtake Daniel Ricciardo. We're already going down the inside, side by side through Beau Rivage down into Massenet. You can see he blocks us off a little bit there, so we can't make the move through Casino Square. But now this is where I'm gonna try and make the move because we're coming into Mirabeau down the inside, late braking, and we keep it. We hit the apex nicely, and we're up in a P5 now. This is absolutely amazing. This is even better than we did at the Spanish Grand Prix last, the first challenge. So you can see we chose the right car. We're on the pace, and we're on a charge now. As we come through the final corner on lap number 3, not the best exit, but we do open DRS, and my goal now is to try and stay within the DRS for Perez and try and catch up to Sergio Perez so that we can overtake Max Verstappen's 2021 teammate, but in 2020 Perez was in the racing point. But you can see coming into Mirabeau, we weren't close enough to make an overtake, so that means that we really have to speed it up, and I want to get past Perez quickly because I want to chase that podium position that my teammate in the game, the 2020 teammate for Max Verstappen, Alex Albon, that's who I'm aiming for. That's who I want to overtake. That's the podium position that I really want in this race because I feel like we are capable of that. So as we come out of the final corner on lap number 4, open DRS, it was actually an okay exit out of the final corner. I don't know what happened there with my recording. Straight cut to turn 1, but yeah, you can see we're so close to Perez coming through Massenet and through Casino Square. We're so close to the racing point, and I feel a Mirabeau dive bomb coming up, and oh no, we got damage. Oh my god, we still made the Mirabeau dive bomb, but we have damage that has completely ruined everything. That is not what we needed. Oh my god. Damage at Monaco is the worst thing you can get, and to make matters worse, we just get more damage. I mean, this has just gone worse and worse for us. Changing the strategy, pitting on lap number 5. Inevitably, we have to pit now. We have way too much damage on our front wing. So yeah, I mean, we're gonna come into the pits. You can see we can't even make the Nouvelle chicane. It's just not happening. We just don't have the grip now, and all I gotta do now is stay ahead of Perez at least until I get into the pits. And yeah, this is gonna be disastrous because we're gonna need a front wing change, which is gonna bring an extra few seconds to our pit stop, which can lose us some vital time, not to just Perez, not to the cars behind Perez, but vitally to Alex Albon, who I was trying to catch up to. You can see we pull into the pits now, and there's going to be a really slow stop. We're getting our front wing change and our tire change onto the mediums. A little bit early for a pit stop onto the mediums, but I think I'll be able to manage the tires till the end of the race. And yeah, 8.4 second stop. I mean, that's 6 seconds slower than how it has to be, so we're gonna lose 6 seconds of time to our rivals. That is an absolute disaster for us. We come out of the pit lane dead last, and yeah, this is really not good for us, but we gotta get our head down. We gotta push hard. We get a warning for crossing the pit lane white line, but yeah, that's okay. It's not anything major, but yeah, we really have to push now. We have to push to the absolute limit now, because I mean, we're gonna have to maximize this opportunity of being on these fresh medium tires instead of being on the worn soft tires. So we're on to the end of lap number 6 now, so quite a bit into the race. You can see we can see a car ahead. I'm pretty sure that's George Russell, sorry, that's Antonio Giovinazzi, but you can see we're up in the P16 because the cars behind have pit, and our competitors, who are mainly, you know, Ricciardo and Vettel, they've pit as well. But we fast forward a couple of laps, you can see Perez comes into the pits, and oh, hold on a second, they were changing his front wing. Oh my god, that is insane. You can see his front wing has absolutely no damage, and they're changing it. What is this? This is insane. They absolutely ruined his race. This is such a hilarious glitch in the game. Sorry, I think that was the end of lap number 6. That was when Vettel and Ricciardo came in. Perez came in at the same lap. He lost 2 positions because of that stupid error. Wow, that is hilarious. As we make a huge dive bomb down the inside of Antonio Giovinazzi at the Grand Hotel Hairpin. I'm really enjoying this race. We're making some crazy dive bombs here. But, yeah, that was so crazy. I mean, the piss off for Perez, it's completely ruined his race. So we don't have any threat from behind, basically. All we gotta do is try and catch up to Albon, who is ahead. And I'm pretty sure he's gonna pit soon. But yeah, when he does pit, we just gotta catch up to Alex Albon. You can see we nearly hit the rear end of George Russell. Wow, sorry, that was Nicholas Latifi. Nearly hit the rear end of Nicholas Latifi into the Rascas. He pits anyways, but yeah, you can see the cars, these slow cars are so slow. And you can see Charles Leclerc, he comes out behind us, so we've managed to keep that undercut on the Ferraris. But yeah, we go to the race director and you can see that Alex Albon has already pit and he's already ahead of 4 cars. He has got a gap of 4 cars to us, 4 cars that haven't pit yet. But yeah, that is crazy gap. I mean, that is crazy. So yeah, I think this podium might just be out of our hands, guys, because I mean, that is just insane how far ahead Albon is ahead of us. So yeah, we have a huge deficit to make up, and to make matters worse, we have this traffic of cars like George Russell and the 2 Haas cars who haven't pit yet. So yeah, I mean, you can see I have to slow down so much more than I normally would have to. You can see I even lock up there because I was pushing him through the corner, literally. So yeah, that's a big problem. This traffic, they're giving me dirty air as well. That's why I couldn't hit the apex at Mirabeau Bar. But you can see we're coming through the tunnel section now, and we're so close to George Russell ahead. You can see as we come through the swimming pool chicane, we go down the inside of the second part of the chicane. That's not normally an overtaking spot, but we just had so much more speed than him, so much more grip, that we could just power past. And you can see now ahead of us are the 2 Haas cars as other cars pit. Now Gasly's into the pits, and yeah, now the 2 Haas cars are ahead of us. Both of them are on the medium tires, so they started the race on the medium tires. You can see we didn't get damage even after contact with the walls. Round the outside of Massenet, wow, we nearly hit the wall. And you can see down the inside of the Casino Square, we made that fantastic move. Again, not an overtaking spot, but we had so much more grip, so much more speed than Kevin Magnussen, so we could make that overtake. And down to La Rascas, we're pushing Grosjean through the corner. That's how much faster we are. We're pushing him through Anthony Nogue corner, I think. Yeah, that's what it's called. But yeah, we made it through that corner and we pushed him through that corner. Now with DRS, we're so close. We have to make this move because look at the gap ahead to Alex Albon, 7.4 seconds. That gap was not that big, but it is way bigger now because we got really held up by the Haas cars. I mean, I thought it was okay. I thought I could just manage, but being held up by the Haas cars has been a big problem. And now, I cannot believe that just happened. We got damage, and I found out by myself. The game did not even tell me about it. I have no idea where I got this damage. I have absolutely no idea. All I know is it is ruining our race. We've already lost so much time to the car ahead now. You can see the gap is just going up. It's just going up. It's not coming back down. Just keeps going up because we have this damage that is absolutely killing us. I mean, look at this. We can't compete. We don't have the pace to compete because when you get damage at Monaco, it is the worst possible circuit to get damage. It is the worst possible scenario at Monaco. You have damage. Your race is practically over. I mean, we are really lucky that we have the 2 Haas cars behind us so that they can hold up the Ferraris who are behind them so that the Ferraris don't instantly catch up to us. But all I know is that the podium is completely out of hand. I mean, this last first challenge, it was going so well. We had so much potential for some good pace, but we can't use the full potential now because we have damage. And you can see Romain Grosjean coming into the pits, and now you can also see that Charles Leclerc, the home hero in the Ferrari, is right behind Kevin Magnussen, around 9.5 seconds behind, which means that Magnussen can probably stretch that gap and make it around 10.5 seconds maybe before he actually pits. You can see coming through turn 1, we have no grip. Magnussen finally pits on lap number 15 now, so he's gonna have a really short stint on the soft tires. I think that's really late to pit for the Monaco Grand Prix. I think that's a bad decision from the Haas team in the game. But yeah, 10.5 seconds now from Leclerc behind, and we have around 5 or 6 laps to make sure that we don't lose this position. Onto 15, onto lap number 17 now. You can see the gap has gone down by 4.5 seconds already. Actually 3.5 or 3 seconds, not 4.5. But yeah, the gap has gone down quite a bit, and we have around 2 laps after this lap. We have 2 laps left in this race, and I think we've actually held up pretty well. I mean, considering that we have damage, we haven't lost time as rapidly as I expected. But you can see onto lap number 19 now. There's Leclerc, we were coming out of La Rascas, and there's Vettel, and now ahead of us is our teammate Alex Albon. Ahead of him is Valtteri Bottas, and ahead of Valtteri Bottas is Lewis Hamilton in the lead of the Monaco Grand Prix. Miles and miles ahead of us. We're so far behind. I mean, look at the gap to Albon ahead now. 18 seconds. That is insane. I mean, look how we were at a point, we were 7.5 seconds behind. Now it's just 19 seconds now. It's unbelievable. I mean, how much pace we've lost. And onto the final lap of the race now. You can see Leclerc has not caught up to us yet. He's I think 1.5 seconds behind. But yeah, it's been a crazy race as Lewis Hamilton wins the Monaco Grand Prix Last of Us challenge. I was hoping we would at least get a podium in this one, especially when we got halfway through the race with the amount of pace we had. But the fireworks light up the Midnight Monaco sky as we come through La Rascas, and we're coming through the final corner now, that Anthony Nose corner, and we have done, it's been a crazy race. We've done good, we've done bad as well. We did bad when we got that damage, but I think we've done good to maintain this P4 and bring the car home, especially after we got that damage, especially after we kind of ruined the race with that damage that we got early on in the race, and then getting damage again. I mean, I was really unhappy about that, but we got driver of the day because we made it from P20 to P4. I think it's a really good Last of Us challenge, and yeah, in the next Last of Us challenge we're gonna be hoping to do even better. We're gonna push even harder and try and do our best and try and maybe complete the challenge, which we have been able to do. We've actually completed the challenge in the past at the 2021 Bahrain Grand Prix Last of Us challenge. We won the race from last on the grid, so that's why I know I am capable of completing a challenge, and hopefully I can complete it again sometime in the near future.
Planned to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
After an excellent performance at the Grand Prix, I'm sure there'll be plenty of celebrations tonight amongst the Mercedes team, and they certainly deserve it.
I don't really mind that we got damaged. I don't really mind that we couldn't get on the podium. I'm still unhappy about it because we had the potential to get on the podium, but I'm not really gonna sulk over it because I really enjoyed this race, and we did get driver of the day, so you know.
Solid, clean driving throughout the event.
Let's just ignore that. I mean, it wasn't dirty driving that we did today, but clean driving means you probably wouldn't get damaged twice in a race. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it was still a very eventful race. It was still, I hope you found this Last of Us challenge as entertaining as I did, as fun as I did. And yeah, it was really fun race. I mean, driving around Monaco, it has its charm, and I really loved it. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. This is F1ntastic Gaming.